Imagine the silence of the sky is shattered by a blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns. Exactly 1 second passes, and giant mushroom clouds already rise on the horizon. You still manage to take a breath, but the shock wave is already racing toward your city at supersonic speed. Will you survive if only 1 minute remains until the nuclear apocalypse? Welcome to the chronicle of the first 60 minutes of a nuclear winter, from the flash to absolute nightmare. Second 10, the light from the explosion blinds everyone who accidentally looked out the window for a second. Second 30, glass in houses begins to vibrate, emitting an ominous ring. Minute 1, a monstrous sound wave reaches the metropolis, shattering thousands of windows. Panic on the streets explodes instantly. People drop their cars and run into underground passages. Minute 2, communication collapses completely. Mobile networks crash from massive overload. Minute 3, a black pillar of flame and radioactive soot rises in the sky above the city. Fires break out simultaneously in hundreds of spots from the thermal radiation of the giant explosion. Minute 5, the sky rapidly changes color from blue to an ominous crimson-black shade. Minute 7, millions of tons of soot and ash rush into the upper layers of the atmosphere. Minute 10, the sun disappears behind a thick armor of nuclear smoke and toxic dust. The air temperature on the street starts dropping at a frightening speed. Minute 15, the first drops of black radioactive rain fall onto the hot asphalt. Water in open reservoirs instantly becomes covered with a toxic oily film. Minute 20, streets empty out, yielding to the howling of sirens and the wail of freezing wind. Power plants fail one after another due to a powerful electromagnetic pulse. Minute 25. Cities plunge into an artificial, icy midnight darkness. Thermometers record a sharp drop in temperature by 10 degrees right away. Minute 30. Shelters and subways fill up with thousands of terrified people in the first seconds of the alert. Air in the shelters becomes heavy. Filtration systems operate at their limit. Minute 35, a radioactive plume covers the suburbs in a dense, lethal cloud. Animals panic and rush through the streets, sensing the approach of a global catastrophe. Minute 40, giant traffic jams of abandoned cars paralyze the main highways. Drivers flee in search of shelter, leaving transport to freeze in the middle of the roads. Minute 45, soot begins to block the remnants of daylight across the entire continent. Cold penetrates broken windows into homes and offices, turning rooms into freezers. Minute 50. The temperature drops below zero in regions where it was still summer an hour ago. Puddles and open bodies of water get covered with a thin but durable crust of ice. Minute 55. Silence descends upon the planet, broken only by the crackle of fires. The first 60 minutes change the face of Earth forever, erasing the familiar world. Minute 60. Nuclear night officially takes hold across the entire planet. What happens to Earth's atmosphere immediately after sunlight is blocked by soot. Photosynthesis stops on the continents within the very first hours after the catastrophe. Plants begin to freeze before they can realize the scale of the planetary strike. Carbon dioxide accumulates in the lower layers of air, suffocating all living things. The icy wind carries radioactive ash at speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour. Dark clouds close over the equator, merging into a single global shield of cold. Ocean currents begin to slow down their usual centuries-old flow. Coastal cities are the first to feel the freezing breath of dead waters. Fish move to the depths, escaping from the sharp drop in surface water temperature. Land transport finally grinds to a halt worldwide due to frozen fuel. Food supplies in stores are depleted by looters within the first hours of chaos. Hospitals switch to backup batteries, saving critical patients in the dark. Military bunkers go into deep autonomy, closing heavy blast doors. Communication between surviving pockets of civilization is severed forever. The second hour after the strike sets in, and the temperature continues to plummet rapidly. Ice on the windows of buildings grows into bizarre patterns an inch thick. People burn the last books and furniture in wood stoves for a scrap of warmth. Oxygen in sealed basements gradually starts running out. Going outside is fatally dangerous due to off-the-charts radiation levels. Ultraviolet levels drop to zero, but the mortal threat from precipitation grows. Birds fall to the frozen ground right during flight from the cold. Large predators come out of forests toward human dwellings in search of food. Hunger and cold become the main executioners of surviving people. The infrastructure of the world's largest states is completely destroyed in 1 hour. What awaits the survivors on the day after this technological hell? The planet enters a phase of rapid glaciation, leaving no chance for a thaw. Soil freezes a meter deep during the first day of nuclear winter. The planet's agriculture is destroyed forever on day zero. Water supply networks burst worldwide from expanding ice. Power grids across the continents go dark permanently. Scientists in bunkers record a catastrophic collapse of the ozone layer. Sunlight cannot pierce through the soot for many long months. Global famine begins, which will kill more people than the explosion itself. Arctic glaciers begin expanding southward with terrifying force. Rivers and lakes turn into solid ice sheets across all of Europe. Atmospheric pressure fluctuates across the globe, causing hurricanes. Dry ice falls as white powder onto the frozen streets of dead cities. Humanity is thrown back to the Stone Age in just 1 short hour. Not a single region of the planet can escape the lethal cold. An artificial sun made of ash and smoke has blocked the planet from stellar warmth. Canned food stocks in bunkers melt away faster than engineers calculated. People's psychology in shelters begins to fail seriously from isolation. The silence of the dungeons presses on the ears harder than the wail of sirens on the surface. Every new hour brings Earth closer to the state of a lifeless ice ball. Scientific forecasts confirm the worst fears of nuclear weapons creators. There is no longer any salvation from the arrived winter on the surface. The air outside has become a toxic cocktail of radiation and soot. Civilization, built over millennia, vanished in 60 minutes. What will remain of our world after the oceans freeze completely? The planet will turn into a cold copy of the Martian lifeless desert. No technology will restore former warmth without sunlight. Earth plunges into a multi-year glacial nightmare with no right to amnesty. The final hour of civilization left behind only icy monuments. Are you ready to face a reality where humanity has no second chance? Summarizing this terrifying chronicle, we see the absolute fragility of our pampered world. 60 minutes were enough to erase the entire history of human achievements. Nuclear winter spares no one, neither rich nor poor nor powerful. Our planet is too vulnerable in the face of modern technological madness. Every new day under the sun is a miracle we often forget to appreciate. Human history has reached its icy and inglorious finale. We will continue analyzing the most dangerous scenarios of world destruction in new episodes. Analyze facts, think critically, and protect the fragile world around you. After all, knowing the laws of science is the only chance to avoid catastrophe. Follow new videos to be the first to know the whole truth until the end. Subscribe to the channel. The most terrifying and important is always ahead.